Hey y'all, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. The cards are all upright and in order by way of major arcana and through each element. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your likes, your shares, your comments, subscriptions to the channel. Holy Divine Spirit of the highest white light consciousness, what do you have for the collective? What does the collective need to know and be aware of at this time? I heard a grown man while I was getting out that last little bit of the spiel. A grown man. All right. I heard fighting temptations. So the fact that it's pointed out that it's a grown man, that was the Page of Wands that fell out on the floor. That means that they've reached a level of maturity, and I heard spiritual maturity. So we're dealing with someone who's possibly going through some sort of reflection stage, like looking back on where they've come from because they're at a new place now. They've arrived somewhere. So this does have to do with spiritual growth. All right, thank you for that, Spirit. Okay, card fell out on the floor again. So the Nine of Pentacles fell out on the floor. Just want to make note of that. All right, anything else, Spirit? I'm being shown like a traffic light, like the red, yellow, green at an intersection. All right, I'm hearing go means go, and then there's a time to stop is a sentiment here. And I heard the slow down phase, so I guess that would indicate yellow. So there's a time to go. Go means go. There's a time to stop, and then that slow down phase is possibly, I'm hearing where they're at now, or that's the energy. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get these cards together so we can jump into the cards and the meaning. Thank you, Spirit, for that information. Something about time, and then I heard the word selected. So perhaps the sentiment is like the time is ripe for right now. No better time than this, and I heard judgment just now. So somebody, okay, I heard golden egg. So somebody's getting an opportunity, y'all, to get things right. Interesting. So final cast of judgment, that's what I heard. Y'all, my ears are kind of stuffed up still. I'm just slightly congested. So hopefully this is the tail end of this. But it might throw me off balance a little bit. But I'm still here reporting live. All right, thank you, Spirit. Okay, that might be it, y'all. Okay, here we are. There we are. So we have the Page of Wands. That card showed in the pre-shuffle, but it fell on the floor. But let's see what this means. What is this Page of Wands, Spirit? I heard proper dialect. So proper dialect is the correct way to communicate. The dialect. What is dialect specifically, Spirit? So communication. I heard degrees. So the proper dialect means, you know, you have to arrive at a certain space or a certain place in time. I guess along your journey, like, you know, a baby can't speak adult language, right? You know, the baby's goo goo gaga. So the adult language is the dialect. And to have proper, I'm hearing etiquette now. So to have proper dialect, so you have to be amongst a certain circle or a certain influence to have proper dialect. So I'm getting social influence, social influencers. So maybe someone has changed. I was going to say their track, but trajectory was coming out, which is a word I don't say because I can't really pronounce it. So their change has been along the course of this spiritual nature. I heard spiritual warfare just now, so that was the influence. They went through their little bout of the warfare, or now they have the dialect. They're able to communicate and speak, you know, what it is that they've been through in order to necessarily just chop it all up to, it was growth. It was spiritual growth by way of the warfare they just experienced. Page of Wands, y'all. This is what I'm getting. So I'm hearing interaction. So there has been some sort of platform that they've been introduced to by way of the experience that they just gone through. But so they're a baby in this, you guys. This is where all of this is stemming from. They now acknowledge that they are walking a spiritual walk. They are on a spiritual journey. But they're infants at this point in spirituality. All right, we got it, Spirit. Thank you. So that was that whole maturity talk in the channeling. So here we are. All right, let's find out what's going on here and why they now know that, they're newly arrived at this spiritual lifestyle or walk or path, we'll call it. All right. There are 2 cards to the right of this energy, but that's the overall energy for what we're about to get into. But let's go ahead and turn these 2 cards over and see what's going on. So we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. So yeah, I mean, So they've received clarity in regards to why they feel they've been shut out. They don't understand how the money stopped flowing, or there may have been just a complete stop. So that was the stop go, the traffic light symbol that I saw in the channeling has, a significant role in, where they are now in regards to they've been shut out of something. But I feel like that energy also has to do with what's to come, what we're about to get into. But this is just a percentage, like a small percentage that their money stopped. And it stopped fast with the 8 of Wands. They're getting clarity now because that's what had to happen. It's almost as if their pockets had to be affected for them to wake up, to understand hey, now we're going to stop your money because you're really not hearing us. So this tells me that money had a great influence over this person. So once the money was cut off, then they were they had no choice. Now, if you want to talk about rock bottom, it didn't matter that, their family member was ill or deathly ill or whatever. No, I mean, they were concerned. But when it came to their money, that trumped every and anything that had blood flowing through its system. They didn't care about the lives of others. All they cared about was money. So once that money was shut off, then it was oh, wait a minute. Wait a second. So that's what I'm gathering from that energy there. And it happened quickly. So I'm being shown a faucet, specifically being shut off. So we know an indicator to that means the water's been cut off. But what are we without water? Nothing. So that's the indication here. How water is to you and I, that's how money was to them. So you could look at it too as a life force energy. Money was that. The only thing that concerns me is that they're trying to figure out how to get back to the money, but at the same time they realized that it was cut off for a reason, and that reason was to ignite this understanding or awareness of a spiritual path or journey. But I guess as a reader, I'm well, it's still, money on their mind because they figure if they could just get back to the money. I feel like there's not a sense of urgency right now because that was the stoplight energy. It was the go and then the complete stop. And now it's the yellow, they're at the yellow phase of slowing down. So maybe it's not as potent as it was previously now that they understand what's happening here. They're a baby walking in spirituality. Now we're going to move over to this King of Wands reverse. I'm hearing have it your way, but that's the Burger King motto. Okay, Spirit, what is that? What is going on? Have it your way. Have it your way with this King of Wands reverse. So I feel like a lot of empty promises that they dished out. They dished out promises to, I want to say it's the 9 of Pentacles energy. These that came along across the King of Wands paths that, they didn't expect to be really taken advantage of by this King of Wands, but this King of Wands knew what they were going to be up to the whole entire time that they were associated with a 9 of Pentacles energy. They knew you know, what was to come of this relationship. That was basically that this King of Wands would have a come up and that they would leave the Nine of Pentacles depleted. So that was a have it your way. There were a lot of empty promises made to the Nine of Pentacles energies, but you see what ended up happening here. The King of Wands is in reverse, which now sparked this rebirth I'm hearing now. I heard regrowth. So rebirth came after that. So the Nine of Pentacles, this is giving me like spider and spider web energy when I see this right now. So it's like a web of a capture. So it had to go this way, you guys. It had to, okay, go. I'm seeing the green light again, the traffic light. It had to be like a go, 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 because it's almost as if this King of Wands had to grow to be a King of Wands. Like they had to get to that top tier of thinking that it was all about them, that they would be able to completely walk over and abuse whoever they wanted, because it had to be a fall. You know, they can't fall from the second step. They had to climb like to the 10th step and then fall. That's where we are over here. Because I mentioned rock bottom when their money was taken away. So there's something that happened behind the Nine of Pentacles energy to where I got the spider web energy. There was some sort of trap that was set here that caused this King of Wands to fall or be in the reverse, to where they have nothing. They can't even be acknowledged as a king. I'm just seeing somebody who's looking over, when they look in the mirror, they see their former self. Like they're looking in the mirror and they're seeing a king who's wearing a crown, but they're in the physical no longer wearing the crown. But when they look in the mirror, they see that that's all that king has to hold on to is that crown. No matter that their clothes are in shambles, they haven't shaved in months, they haven't bathed, but they still see themselves wearing this crown. Let me clarify that, because this is the image that I'm seeing, and I feel it's important to communicate it properly. I need to make sure you all have this. So them in the 3D, they could be wearing a white t-shirt and they could have just taken a shower, right? But when they look in the mirror, they see an image of themselves, but that image of them is a king wearing a crown, but the king that they're seeing has not bathed, has not shaven. Their clothes are tattered. They're broken down. That's what they see when they look in the mirror. So they're still holding on to that concept of being king, even though they've just been broken all the way down here in the 3D. So that's the connection here. The fact that I said, you know, they still, with this Five of Pentacles told me that they're still kind of clinging on to the idea of getting back to the money. And now I know that they're looking at the mirror at themselves as that used to be king, but the king has been through it. The king is not looking like a king that's been kept up and, you know, they're regal, royal. This is somebody who's hanging on to a memory of them, of their former selves, but their former selves really had been ran through. They don't look good, even though they're still wearing a crown in the reflection. So that's the idea, is the perception. They're still hanging on to a perception of being a king. The only thing is, it's okay that they still want to consider themselves a king, but it's the king that they're still tying themselves to. It's a former representation, but that former king is what's going to get them back in trouble, back on the go, 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 go. Even though they're recognizing that they're a baby on this spiritual path now, because everything's been completely wiped from them. Their pockets were hit royally, greatly. That's how they had to feel it. You and I, our pockets get messed up like that. We're like, okay, well, shoot, we'll recover. I mean, it's no big deal. This person, you would have thought they lost a family member when their pockets were wiped clean. That's how hard they took it. It was a loss for them, like they had lost a loved one. All right, y'all. Let's because I'm hearing I shouldn't get in too much into the self-diagnosis of things. So let me just go ahead and, I'm hearing tread lightly. So let me get past that bit. So let's see what else is behind this Nine of Pentacles. All right, we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, that was the spider web energy. Somebody came up with it. They hatched a plan is what I just heard, but that was a spider web. but it got this King of Wands right where they needed to be. And where they are is a baby in the spiritual journey that they're on. They're still clinging on to a former representation of themselves, so that's why I'm concerned right now. All right, let's turn these cards over and see what's underneath this spider web energy and why the King of Wands is in the reverse. We have the Three of Cups, we have the Four of Swords reverse, we have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So this was a trap, obviously, because I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles. They didn't bargain for something. Like, they went to go take something and they weren't able to take it. That's how I view the Knight of Pentacles reverse. Sorry if I say King. Knight of Pentacles reverse. But this had to do with possession with the Four of Pentacles. Like I told you, they had to get to a certain point to where they felt like, you know, I heard inconsolable. So maybe they weren't paying attention to other people's feelings and how, you know, people on the receiving end of their trauma, they didn't care how they felt. They had to get to a point of, you know, the oblivion I'm hearing with the go, 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 green light energy. Go, go, go. It didn't matter. Just go. So this four of swords reverse looks like bed rest to me, but it's giving me sexual energy right now. So something kind of put them under in regards to something that they probably picked up, sexually transmitted disease. Maybe it's something incurable. Maybe it's a death sentence of a disease, but that's what I'm getting right off the bat here. So they, look, they got more than what they bargained for. I said that. But it had to do with control, with money. Get the money, get to the money, get to the bag. Because that was it. That was their life in essence. Their life force had to do with money. But they got exactly what they need to slow their ass down. That's why they're now a baby on their spiritual journey. They understand now. Because they were doing too much, Three of Cups. Too much drinking, too much partying, too much drugging, I'm hearing. There was a lot going on in this Three of Cups. Life was a party. That's what happened. But it laid their ass down with this Four of Swords reverse. Unfortunately, it's a permanent result, but everything, you know, I'm sure there's, I don't know. I'm assuming that, you know, let me not carry on with that. Let me not carry on with that. Because I don't want to sound like I'm being insensitive. But this person was hardcore. They didn't care about anybody else's feelings. They worried about getting to the bag here. But somebody trapped them. That was the spider web energy. Somebody got them. But now, again, so now I'm able to go back and see why it is that they feel like they could still get to the bag. Because they were dependent on this money by way of whatever it is that they were doing in exchange for it. But now they can't do it. They can't do it. Do it as a sexual reference. So, hello. All right. Let me keep going, y'all. Because I'm not trying to make light of someone's... I'm hearing sentence. Their sentence. So, ultimately, this is their sentence. That Four of Swords, I feel like I mentioned something surrounding a sentence here with the Four of Swords reverse. All right, y'all. So, we have the Chariot reverse. So, this means no longer being able to go... To go forward or go along or go with the go along. I'm hearing all of these things. I'm hearing trashed, but I heard tempered before that. But, you know, ultimately the Chariot reverse and major arcana means that, you know, you're not equipped to keep going. And look what's behind that Strength card reverse. They don't have the strength to keep going. I'm hearing fortitude. So with everything in them, fortitude sounds like a very powerful sense of strength. So fortitude, they don't have it to keep going, whatever this is. It's not in them to keep going. And I'm telling you, this had to be some sort of sentence here by way of this Four of Swords that's affecting their immune system. They don't have the strength to keep going. Chariot reverse. Strength card reverse. Behind that we have the Knight of Cups reverse. Oh, actually there's one card behind the Strength card I just saw. Oh, Tower reverse. Can't leave that important detail out. We can't skip over that. But that's what we've been talking about here. They had to fall. I said they had to get to the 10th step in order to experience what it is to fall, to wake them up. So they have a second chance here in life. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're getting back to the channel energy. They've been allowed a second chance, y'all. Tower reverse. Something had to fall. It was divine intervention, period. Now, the Knight of Cups reverse, I feel like this is, they can't really go back and undo any of this. I've said this was like a permanent sentence. So for me, that's what that Knight of Cups would signify. It's like there's no dictation I'm hearing. So we're coming back to that. There's nothing that they can say or properly announce themselves or put themselves in a certain character to be able to avoid this sentence. Right? They can't escape it is what I'm saying. That's the Knight of Cups reverse. There's no tall tale. There's no lie that they can tell. There's nothing that they can tell that's going to, I'm hearing, justify this energy of the sentencing. Because at the end of the day, like the proof is all there. So you might be able to look at this person and see that something's wrong. You know, it's something about, I'm seeing somebody with breathing issues even. Maybe they have to carry around some sort of a monitor or something with them now. There's going to be proof that something is not right. And I'm not talking about just a breathing problem. I'm talking about it's tied to some sort of, I'm hearing immune deficiency disease. Wow. I spelled it out for y'all. That's it. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Seven of Cups reverse. Confusion. I'm hearing not able to comprehend. So I feel like the obvious would be that, you know, they would understand why this has happened because of who they were being, you know, just kind of doing what they were doing, all free willy-dilly. And now they have this incurable disease, right? That's what it is. But why is it that they're not understanding? It can't be them, Seven of Cups, that's having a hard time understanding this. Like, who's not understanding here, Spirit? Let me put these down, y'all, because I need to separate something real quick to get an understanding. Oh, well, let's let the other cards peek out. We have the Empress reverse. After that, the World card reverse. Then the Three. Oh, that's why they're not understanding. You got an Empress reverse here. This Empress reverse, their world turned upside down, literally. World card reverse. You know why? Because this Empress reverse is expecting his child. King of Wands. Three of Wands is an expectation. But it's not the way that it was supposed to, quote unquote, be. So there's something that's messed up here in regards to this Empress reverse and how they feel about this. Somebody has an incurable disease here. It could be both of them, but where I'm at is who gave it to who here and who feels that the plans have been spoiled here with the World card reverse because somebody's pregnant now. That's none of my never mind. This is a general reading, y'all. So not only is there a baby on the way, you have someone who has an incurable disease. I said people because they both could have this. But now a baby's coming on top of that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna just leave it right here, y'all. So I hope this helped.